Hey guys, I was laying here finishing up some work and I've been thinking about this DNA activation thing. It's absolutely just blowing my mind. And it got me thinking about the comment that I made about the survival of the fittest. How the stronger genes have, like, they reproduce less, but they produce stronger quality, like humans, elephants, um, pandas. Like, there's loads of things that don't need to breed prolifically. Because they're the stronger gene, they don't need to have as many reproduced cells. But when you get things like bacteria and viruses and things like mice and rabbits, one of the reasons why mice and rabbits produce prolifically is because they are lower in the food chain. But also because if they don't breed, they'll die out. So then it got me thinking, when it comes to viruses and bacteria and diseases and molds and fungi and cells and genes and things like that, what is it that drives them to feel the need to spread the genes? What is it that drives a bacteria or a virus or a mold or a fungus or a gene or a cell or a bacteria or whatever? What is it that draws them? How do they know that if they don't breed to spread the gene pool, to spread the genetics? How do they know? How does a cell or a bacteria know that if it doesn't go out and multiply, it dies out? There has to be a consciousness there. And it's not just on the physical as well. Our entire universe is killing things off for rebirth. There's new worlds being born all the time, and old worlds being removed. Old cells are replaced, old genes are replaced, the weaker bacteria are removed. It's survival of the fittest. So it's not just like a physical need, it's not just cells and bacteria and that, it's on a universal scale as well. Why did some planets die out, whereas others got to merge and create new worlds? What was it about that drop of water? What was in that drop of water? And that cell that was smart enough to know that when the two combined, they got to spread themselves. It's why we are made up mostly of water. We are mostly made up of water. Like, it's just mind-blowing. You can say in humans it's a part of our brain that triggers the need to want to have, or that, it's a part of our brain that triggers hormones that makes us want to have lots of children or whatever. But how do you explain that with mould and fungus and viruses and bacteria and wormholes? They can't just be like put down to a chromosome or a hormone. There has to be something more to it. Because even things on a dark side low frequency level is trying to shed its old skin in order to have rebirth to become better than what it was before. What is it in our consciousness that drives us to evolve, to be better than what we came from? Because that's the point of it. You're supposed to do better than your children, your parents, and your children are supposed to do better than you. That's how it goes. It's evolution. But why do some species breed prolifically, like mice and rabbits and ants, and why do some only ever feel the need to have a couple, like humans? And I mean, admittedly, up until the end of the Victorian era, we were having like 7, 10, 9, 15 kids, but that's because they were all dying in infancy. I mean, most kids in Britain, kids didn't get their names until their 7th birthday because they weren't ashamed to live, so parents didn't bother naming them. On your 7th birthday, you usually got your name. So, in that case, it was sort of understandable why they had lots of children, but, I'm talking about on a universal scale, not on a human scale. It's just fascinating. There's something in our consciousness that triggers an evolution in us. And DNA activation isn't, I'm not being all like, oh, when I get a DNA activation, I didn't even know what it was till it was mentioned. And it's not me personally, it's everyone. Everyone goes through a DNA activation when they evolve beyond what they came from. Like breaking ancestral patterning causes a DNA activation. So, like if you're from a family of gamblers and you decide not to gamble, or you're from a family of child abusers and you choose not to abuse your child, or you're from a family of people who are afraid of heights and you choose to paraglide and parachute and stuff, you're breaking ancestral patterning, which creates the DNA activation. So, it happens to all of us. It's just, it depends in what area, I guess. But it is fascinating, eh? It gets you thinking. 2:30 in the morning. Trying to edit this video. I put up a video that I was really proud of. But I realised that about 9-10 minutes in, I got a big thing of my son's face in that. So I'm trying to edit it, but I'm having trouble with the editing software. So just bear with me. But yeah, get you thinking. What is it? What is in consciousness that makes us drawn to spread our genes? you know if I figure it out.